guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back with another speed build per usual, and I'm actually building a one-story family home in the world of Evergreen Harbor. I realized that I don't build here very often, and I think I've only built on this lot once before, if I'm remembering correctly, and it was when the pack first came out. I built like a modern prefab sort of tiny home. And this is more of a residential area where I see a lot of like two-story homes and like family homes. And I thought it would be nice to build a family home here. Plus, because this lot is on a corner, I suppose, and it has two different sides of the lot that touch the road, I thought it would be nice to have the entrance on one side and a sort of garage space or driveway on the other. So that is what I'm doing here today. I've also really wanted to build a brick house, and I don't know why. I guess it's because I don't build brick houses very often. And that's what this one ends up being. It's a brick family home in the world of Evergreen Harbor. It has a sort of garage space, and it's 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And probably the most fun, but also the most frustrating time I've had playing The Sims and building in The Sims in quite some time. I was just unbelievably happy with how this build came out. It looks so realistic to me, like a house you're actually going to see in person, not like a perfect Sims house. It just looks like a regular house. And something about that to me was very exciting and frustrating, because I did use platforms in this house to achieve the look of having the front of the house on a foundation, but also having a garage space off on the side, which I didn't really do yet. And as you might know, or if you haven't played with platforms, then you might not, they are infuriatingly glitched. They will make the rooms kind of jump up to max platform height, and you're going to see that quite a bit through this build. It's very frustrating. I really hope that they do patch it at some point so that they work properly. But as you can see, all of a sudden the inside is filled up to the top, and yeah, the amount of times you see it in this build is actually a lot less than how many times it did happen. I did cut out a lot of that footage because it was just monotonous, but you do see some of it still in here because I left some of it in because I just thought it made more sense with the flow of the video. Anyway, as I mentioned, it is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and it's coming in at 70,864 simoleons. So it is on the expensive side, but I just went all out with it. And as you can see, I had originally been trying to have that one section of the house be a different color. I tried some greens and some blues. I changed it to white in the end, and I decided the pop of color could be in the roof and in some of the vines growing up the house. So I really enjoyed having a green roof on this house, as well as these green windows from university. And in a build somewhat recently, I talked about never being able to use these vines because I think they look so chunky, and I still feel that way. However, a lot of you guys had suggested to try to use them scaled down, which is what I'm doing here, and I like them better that way, but I still feel like they look chunky and that I'm not sure how to successfully use them. But let me know if you like the way it looks. I like the color combo, the reddish flower paired against the green roof. So I was definitely really happy about that, but I still think they look a little bit chunky, so, you know. Anyway, getting some planters out here. I have this really weird structured planter space. Basically what happened was I drew out a sidewalk to connect that was 1 tile, and I was like, I want it to be 2 tiles, but I want it to scoot it over. So I put one where I was thinking of putting it originally, and I was going to make 2 tiles next to each other, but then I thought it looked kind of cool, and that'd be a fun spot to put another planter, so it's a little funky, but I thought it was unique, so I kept it. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's easy to change if you don't like it. You can delete it and make the pathway 2 tiles wide instead of being separated by a wonky planter. And if you guys do like this build, it will be available for download on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find me under my origin ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. And you can also find it under the hashtag Miss Gryphi, and I will have that information in the description down below as well. So because the house has the driveway and all of that, and it's a longer, like a wider lot, I have a bit of a side yard over here. It's not very big. It just has space for like a table and chairs, a barbecue, and I also end up adding monkey bars out there as well, because I did imagine that there were some kids in this house. I actually decorated the secondary bedroom to be shared between a kid and a toddler, and I really like how that came out. We're going to be adding a garage door over here that is from City Living, and there's also a bike outside and a car in the driveway, and I don't know. Like I said, I feel like this just looks like a realistic house, like something I've seen before. Every once in a while when I build a house, I'm like, it just looks so real. I don't know if you guys relate. Is there certain builds that feel that way to you? Does this one feel that way to you? Have you ever built something and for some reason there's nothing particularly special about the shape other than it looks real? I don't know if I can explain it better than that, but it was just such a blast to build other than the platform issue. As you can see, it keeps happening and I'm just ignoring it in the editing and all of a sudden it's solved. It took a long time to fix. It was just, I really needed to figure out where everything was going to be and where the platforms were going to go before I added, well, I guess you need to figure out the floor plan and where all the platforms are going to be first, because if you decide to change the floor plan later and you add more walls, they're all going to jump up, and it's infuriating. And yeah, anyway, we are adding the kitchen in here now. I used this wallpaper from Parenthood. It's one of the best tiles in the game in my opinion, and I can't remember if I kept this tile on the floor or not. I think I didn't. I liked the idea of it at first. I'm pretty sure I did keep it in the bathrooms though, but I think I just extended the wood that we have in the rest of the house into the kitchen. But just using base game counters and cabinets, some stools that I think are from Get Together. I'm not sure which pack those ones are from. I don't use them very often, but I thought they worked out in here because they're really basic looking stools. And I feel like a lot of the stools we have are incredibly stylized, and I would like some more basics. I guess that goes for every section of furniture in the game. I like some basic counters. Honestly, just the base game counters that come in like some weird swatches. They only have like 5 swatches. There's a black one, a beige one, like a hot pink, a blue. Those ones, if we could get some more like regular neutral swatches in that, or maybe some of the bench tops being wood, I would like that. That would be very nice. That way we don't even have to get a whole new counter. We could just get some new swatches. I would also like some more counters, but that's a really basic counter that I just feel like needs some more swatches. So anyway, just adding some more clutter here in the kitchen. We have our beautiful thing of succulents by the sink. That is from University and I love it so much. I also have a weird feature in this house. There is a fireplace when you first walk in the front door, which is a little bit strange, but I have seen it in homes before, and it also makes sense with where the chimney is on the outside. So, it might heat the house. It's not in the living room. It's not in the dining room. It's not in a really normal space, but I just thought it looked cute, and it was a little quirky thing about this build, and it's easy to delete if you don't like it. I also don't have like a separate door that leads into the garage space. It's a little staircase down, and I just have some storage in here, as well as a place to do laundry, a place for the kitty litter box. I did imagine that this house had a cat, so I put everything you would need for a cat in this house. And I also thought that one of the parents was an artist, so their art space is actually also down in this garage space. So we have an easel. I end up grabbing a couple things to put on the floor to like protect the floor. Not that you need to protect it that much, because it is a garage space, but I guess for easier cleanup, I suppose. I also have a closet in this little hallway space that leads you into the 2 different bedrooms, and then the bathroom is accessed through the door in this living space. I changed my mind in here quite a few times. That's pretty common for builds by me. I'm very indecisive. And so in here, I think I cut a lot of that out. I'm pretty sure I do keep this sofa in the end, which is one that comes with Eco Lifestyle. I think it's a really cute sofa, and I don't use it that often. It might be the swatches. Honestly, a lot of the reasons I don't use certain items are because of the swatches, but I do think that's a super cute couch. And just got a TV, a little chair, a bookcase behind the TV, trying to make it look a little bit more like a built-in unit. And we end up getting a couple of like paintings and stuff on the walls as well. I'm actually going to be adding like these framed magazine spreads. I was imagining that one parent was an artist, but I was thinking the other one was a writer. I thought that that was a fun combo, and I guess something I relate to some extent, because I am trained as a graphic designer, which is like in the artsy field. I did have to go through a lot of like traditional art training in school and stuff. And then my significant other is not as they're a writer. They work in another field, but their passion is writing, and they have been published and have a couple of different things out there. And so I relate to the artist with a writer thing. So I guess that's kind of what I was going for in this build. Just getting some curtains over this door and working on the whole dining space as a whole. It's not its own room. It shares a room with the living room, but I thought that that worked nicely. It's more of a modern day sort of look and feel, I suppose. I know lots of houses have always done that, but I think it's more common in newer homes now not to have a separate dining room. It's more open concept. I also have this little balcony space over here, which I thought was really cute. So I did put a chess table over there for some skill building, and then we're working outside here. I wanted to add some more pavement so there'd be a space for a table and chairs, but it made it so squished out here. So there's not a ton of space for the monkey bars, but they do fit. So very small side yard. But I think it works out for this house. Also, you might notice a couple different places on this build that there is a wallpaper from inside on the outside on like a single tile. It happens on the side of the house. It happens on the front of the house a couple of different times. And to be honest, I didn't catch it before I finished the build. I did catch it when I was taking screenshots. So those things are all fixed, but you will probably see it and be like, Tanya, the wall! A few different times, so I apologize for that. But I did see it, and I don't know why when I'm in the zone, I suppose, building, I don't notice those things, because watching it back, I'm like, oh my gosh, did I see that? And I didn't, and I don't know how, because it's so obvious when I'm watching the footage back. So I can only imagine that it's frustrating for you guys to watch back too, because it's like the same experience. Anyway, this is the bathroom. It's kind of colorful. I did keep this tile in here like I had mentioned, even though I did get it out of the kitchen, and just a couple of decorations on the counters before we move on into the main bedroom. I used this bed from Cats and Dogs with this really cute green swatch, as I have quite a few green things throughout the entire house. I was inspired by the roof swatch, which I know is kind of weird in real life. Like, oh, why does the interior of your house have a lot of green accents? Oh, because my roof is green. It doesn't make sense in real life, but in The Sims, I tend to be inspired by things like that. Like, oh, the walls on the outside are green, like the paneling, or this time the roof shingles. But that's just what happened. Let me know if you guys relate to that either, or as well. Sometimes words don't work very well when I'm doing voiceovers, but this is the kids' bedroom, and once again, it's green because we have a green roof. And I thought it was a fun color for this bedroom. I'm using the Eco Lifestyle bed and both beds. I almost said bed and bed. But the child's bed as well as the toddler's bed, because they match so nicely, and that's the best toddler bed in the game. Just getting a couple decorations in here, and then that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this build as much as I enjoyed building it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That really does help me out. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.